Budweiser, Coors, these mass-produced brews. They don't have any smell, they don't have any flavor. I like the different brews. I've been drinking a number of beers over the number of years, and I know what I like.
It's a more traditional way of serving the beer. In England, for example, they'll brew the beer and they'll put it in a cask, and it'll carbonate naturally in the cask, and then they'll serve it under gravity feed at the bar. So there's no artificial carbonation or CO2 to pump the beer up to the tap handle.
Real ale is old technology. It's the way you used to be able to put the bubbles in the beer, in a sense. You know, you carbonated the beer right in the cask or right in the bottle.
I've been to London quite a few times. I used to live there. Spent a lot of time over there drinking in the different pubs. I like their bitters. Every place you seem to go, every pub at least has a one cask edition ale.
Traditional real ale would require, back in England, where they really kind of invented the style, they would have a cellar master at each public house or bar where they would serve the beer that would be responsible for watching the beer and making sure it matured properly before it was tapped, and made sure that it wasn't tapped prematurely or too late. So there was a real art to a special employee at each bar.
I really find for myself that in order to enjoy the flavor of the beer, it really needs to be cask conditioned and served at a proper temperature. And that way you can really taste the flavor of the beer itself.
You get a lot of great flavors that come out of there, a lot of fruitiness that you really get in ales. You get that yeast flavor coming through. And I think ales, have become popular because of that.
The real ales here are more diverse, more interesting, and somewhat a little high in alcohol.
Philadelphia it's a town of neighborhoods, and it's really a town of all sorts of different beers and breweries and microbrews and big brews. You can't go wrong with all the different types of beers we have. You want something strong, we got it. You want something Belgian, we got it. You want something really unique that you've never tried before, we have that too.
And one of the great things about all the beers that are here is it's not really everybody's flagship beer that they're sending. They're sending things that are unique and that are fun to do in a cask ale. And I think that's really what's making this event a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've been pouring a lot of the Southampton, I've been pouring Iron Hill, I've been pouring some Notting Head, definitely been pouring some Triumph.
Stewart's Brewing from Delaware brought an old ale that was fantastic. Yards, legendary local brewery, brought their ESA.
What else did we try?
Triumph, our gracious hosts, have a brew it, which is a beer made without hops. It's made with traditional herbs and spices like lavender and heather tips and juniper and things like that. That was really fantastic.
And so a lot of the beers that we've been sampling today, for example, are high in alcohol to start with.
Yeah, the English philosophy is you go to the pub, you spend a long time there, you actually drink a lot in terms of quantity, but it isn't incredibly strong. A lot of this is very, very strong beer by English standards. It's very good, it's very tasty, but if you went out and drank this in an English pub, and in terms of an English pint, which is 20 fluid ounces, not 16, you'd be on the floor by the end of the night.
Precisely.
I've tried the Triumph Bitter. It's pretty good. The One Guy Brewing Company, I've had about 10 brews so far, and they've been pretty good.
Wow, that is a tough question. Which beers go with two different versions of All Along the Watchtower? Bob Dylan's version of All Along the Watchtower. I'm going to go with the One Guy, and I'll tell you why. Bob Dylan's one guy, man. He's unique. He's in and of himself. That guy makes the beer all by himself, and it's been really popular. It's an original. It's something that can't be replicated. So you're going to go with the Hendrix version of All Along the Watchtower. You want to amp it up a little bit. You want to make it a little bit different, maybe a little stronger, a little more electric, if you will. I'm going to go with the Notting Head. The Notting Head, wee heavy.
There are beers here that you're just not going to find elsewhere. And that's kind of the spirit of this event, is to have things that you just can't find. You know, regardless, if it comes in a keg and it's being served at another bar, it's still not quite getting the special handling that's going on here today.
I would say that most Brits would be spoilt entirely by this selection that we've been tasting today here at the Triumph Brewery in Philadelphia.
So, Nottingham's Wee Heavy is the Hendrix version of All Along the Watchtower, and the One Guy Brewing Company, Molly Brown, that's the Dillon version.